Hello, this is Nobuko. I'm in Takamatsu station in Kagawa Prefecture. I love the design of the station building. It looks like the station is smiling at the front, isn't it? We're going to the Ritsurin Garden. A dolphin? Why? I found out that this was the mascot character of this railway company. Today, we are taking a local train from Takamatsu Station. My stop, Ritsurin Mile, the gateway to one of Japan's most remarkable gardens. The train is full of students on their way to school. We quietly join the flow and step at Ritsurin Mile. After getting off the train, we notice all the high school students heading the other way, probably off to class. My husband and I take the quiet route, a straight 450-meter walk, about 7 minutes to the east gate of the Ritsurin Garden. Ritsurin Garden is vast, over 16 hectares or about 40 acres. Imagine a garden so large that it takes nearly an hour to walk around. But here, size isn't everything. What makes the Ritsurin truly unique is the way the scenery shifts with every step. Locals call Ippo Ike a new view with every pace you take. Pine trees, quiet ponds, small bridges, distant mountains. It's a living painting, changing with the light and the seasons. It's still early in the morning, and before we begin exploring the vast garden, my husband and I have a little ritual, a special breakfast reserved in advance at the Teahouse inside the park. We're heading to Hanazonote, a quiet spot known for its asagayu, a simple but nourishing Japanese rice porridge. As we walk closer, we see Hanazonote, a slightly old-fashioned house but beautifully maintained. It feels warm and inviting, with a quiet charm you can see right away. It's the perfect way to start a slow morning in such a peaceful place. I always thought Saitama's Omiya was the most famous place for bonsai in Japan, but it turns out Takamatsu is actually Japan's fourth producer. Most of the beautiful pine bonsai you see around the country start right here. These small trees, shaped with years of skill, are now even exported inside the garden. Their asagayu, a Japanese rice porridge breakfast, is the perfect way to start a slow morning. Every bowl is cooked with care using seasonal ingredients, and even the water is adjusted depending on the time of year. The set includes simmered vegetables, grilled fish, Kagawa's famous soybeans, and pickles made from plums grown right here in the garden's orchard. One of the specialties in tea porridge made from goisha, a rare fermented tea from Kochi Prefecture, inspired by an old dish from the Seto Inland Sea Islands. This breakfast isn't just food. It's a gentle way to wake up your body and a chance to taste the flavors of the garden and the region. Inside, you'll spot lots of traditional decorations. Most of them are for New Year's, I think. But honestly, as long as they are beautiful, it doesn't really matter what season it is. Reservations are required by 5 p.m. the day before, but both solo travelers and groups are welcome. If you want to start your day in calm and beautiful way, I can't recommend this experience enough. It's the perfect way to start a slow morning in such a peaceful place. That was the perfect start to the day. Now, shall we see what's waiting in the garden? But why is there such a huge garden here in Takamatsu? Ritsurin began nearly 400 years ago a small village garden, but it grew thanks to a surprising reason: water. In the early 1600s, local laws invested in large-scale waterworks and land development. The ponds and the streams you see were once part of a much bigger project, controlling water for rice fields, irrigation, and the people living nearby. During times of the hardship, the feudal lords even hired people to help build the garden, offering work and relief in difficult years. That is Kikuge's Teahouse. This Skiya-Suzukuri-style teahouse is one of the main buildings of the garden, and was dearly loved by the successive generations of feudal lords of the Takamatsu domain in the past. The name Kikuge came from the line in the Tang era Chinese poem, which reads, "When I scoop up the water, I have the moon in my lungs." Views from the Nanko Pond from the tea house are worth seeing. This is the Nagari Goyomatsu, or exported root Japanese white pine. It's the only white pine its kind in Ritsurin Garden, standing over 8 meters tall with a trunk measuring 3.5 meters around. What makes it unique is their dramatic roots that rise more than a meter above the ground, exposed after years of soil slowly washing away by the water's gauge. This tree was once a tiny bonsai. In 1833, the 11th Tokugawa shogun Ienari presented it as a gift to Matsudaira Yoshihiro, the 9th Lord of Takamatsu. Its estimated age, over 200 years, matches this historic moment. Right next to it stands Kikuge, a traditional tea house built in the late 17th century. Enjoying a cup of tea here with the view of the Nagari Goyomatsu is truly one of the highlights of Ritsurin Garden. This pagoda was created by a ceramic master named Kitari Shigetoshi, who was invited from Kyoto in 1647 by the first Lord of Takamatsu, Matsudaira Yorishige. You can also take one of these little wooden boats around the pond. The boatman wears traditional clothes and a straw hat, and so do the passengers. It looks like such a peaceful way to see the garden from the water. We didn't ride this time, but honestly, I was a bit jealous watching everyone float by. Maybe next time I'll give it a try. Sometimes, just seeing people enjoying themselves like this is enough to make the whole place feel even more special. We are now on the Geishunkyo Bridge. Geishunkyo means welcoming the spring. In the Edo period, there was a building named Ryushukaku on the west side of the building. Also, there were many cherry blossom trees representing the spring of Japan around there. Just a little peep. My husband spotted the koi and decided to wanted to feed them. So we ended up buying some koi snacks and having a go. If you want to see the whole feeding frenzy, I posted the uncut version in a separate video. We're back to the Kikuge Teahouse. A lady dressed in kimono served us matcha, tea, and sweets. Sitting here on the tatami, enjoying a cup of matcha and a sweet chestnut bun, I can't help but wonder, does it really mean chestnut grove? Today, the garden is famous for its pine trees, but long ago it said there were chestnut trees here too. Now you won't find many chestnut trees, but this kurimanju is a delicious nod to the garden's name. The subtle sweetness of the bun goes perfectly with the rich, slightly bitter matcha. It's the kind of quiet, thoughtful moment that makes traditional Japanese gardens so special. Kikesei is a traditional tea house, but you can actually explore the inside of the building as well. The matcha and sweet set cost 700 yen, but for that price, you get to sit and enjoy the view, wander through the rooms, and really take in the courtyard garden up close. The seats closest into the garden were already full, so my husband and I found a quiet spot a little further back to rest. Some people were completely absorbed in the beautiful view, while just nearby, a group of children were happily playing games on their phone. I thought it was a bit of a shame, but everyone enjoyed travel in their own way. In the end, that's why makes trips memorable, stepping out of daily life, trying something new, and experiencing a little bit of difference, even if it means just relaxing in a beautiful place. It's believed that these palms were a gift from the Satsuma domain to the Matsudaira lords of Takamatsu, brought all the way from the Ryukyu island. That must have been quite a feat in the Edo period. Sago-Palms always remind me of a little story from my student days. Once, on a trip to an onsen with friends, we hadn't even left Tokyo yet when one of them said, "Wow, this scenery is just so easy." But when we finally did reach Izu, she looked at the rows of sago palms along the road and said, "Oh, it's like Hawaii. I haven't been there in my life though." Here at Ritsurin Garden, you'll find a remarkable row of 5 tall pine trees, each with a story to tell. These pine trees were planted by members of the Japanese imperial family and the British royal family to commemorate their visit to Garden between 1914 and 1925. From right to left, they were planted by Prince Takamatsu, Emperor Showa, Prince Chichibu, Edward VIII when he was still Prince of Wales, and Princess Tomiko of the Kitachiraka family. In Japanese garden tradition, there's a saying about how to appreciate pine trees. First, look at the hada, the texture of the trunk, which shows the tree's age and resilience. Second, notice the furry, the spread and movement of the branches. And third, the sugata, the overall shape and presence of the tree. As the year passed, the garden changed hands from lords to the people. It became a public park, added a museum, and opened its paths to everyone. Today, Ritsurin is both a traditional treasure and a living part of Takamatsu's life. In spring, plum and cherry blossoms. In autumn, fairy red maples. Every season, every path, a new story. And even after centuries, the water keeps flowing, the pines are carefully trimmed, and the people keep coming, searching for beauty, peace, or just a quiet place to breathe. That's it all for today. I usually explore places in Japan that tourists often miss with stories from local history and culture. If that sounds fun, subscribe and join me next time. またね